If you'd have asked me a few years ago about how to start a flower garden, I probably would have said I missed out on the green thumb gene. But 2020 taught me otherwise. In a year with so many unsettling experiences, I found a pleasant surprise hidden among the new rhythms and routines of being home more often during that season. I learned that perhaps the idea of a green thumb is simply a myth, and that with a little time and patience, all of us have the opportunity to cultivate beauty and unearth new life in our own backyard, or front yard, or wherever else you'd like to add a pop of color and greenery. If, like me, you've spent far too long believing you don't have what it takes to keep tiny plants alive, I hope you'll stay tuned for a few tips that I've learned along the way that might help in your own journey. If you're already an experienced gardener, I hope you'll stick around too, and maybe even drop a comment with some of the things you've learned over the years as well. First, a quick and slightly embarrassing story. I still don't know the exact name of one of the perennials I've had since the beginning. I was talking to my mom about the delicate hot pink flowers one day when she asked what kind of plant it was. I said, "Oh, it's called a Monrovia." Mom looked over with a straight face and graciously replied, "Actually, Monrovia is the name of the grower." Needless to say, from then on, I paid much more attention to tags and labels before tossing them out. And you can take comfort in knowing that if I can learn to cultivate plant life, you can too. As simple as it sounds, one of the first things I would recommend when starting a flower garden is to do just that. Pay close attention to the tags and labels. Learn the names of your plants, whether or not they grow well in your area, and what kind of care they need. Full sun or partial sun? A little water or a lot? Is it an annual or perennial? Meaning, will it last for one growing season only, or will it come back each year? I'm learning that as in life, so it is with nature. This might be an unpopular opinion, but whoever coined the phrase, "You have to get outside your comfort zone in order to grow," likely never had a garden. That philosophy, along with the term "bloom where you're planted," doesn't usually work well in the soil, because each plant needs the ideal climate condition suited for their specific needs to survive and thrive. Another important lesson to keep in mind is to start small but think big. And I found this mindset applies in a couple different ways. Take it slow. Don't despise the day of small beginnings. Get to know a few plants at a time before moving on to more. Also, in terms of scale and grouping, remember contrast is key. One large plant or shrub tends to make a stronger statement than a few small ones. But staggering a variety of sizes and colors can provide even greater impact for a visually appealing space. Some of my favorite splurge items to date are the spiral blue point juniper that caught my attention at a local nursery, and an oak leaf holly tree that turned out to be a simple focal point for my small patio garden. I'm also in love with the large gardenia that has probably surprised me most with how well it's doing. And of course, the sweet hydrangeas that have always been near and dear to my heart. In truth, though, it's so hard to pick favorites. I love them all, and I think of the old gospel song I learned as a child. There are all kinds of flowers in God's garden. Some are pink, some are blue, some like me and some like you. Each one has their own special place and beauty. Happy gardening, friends.